Okay, so what are you holding in your hand right there?
All right, so we have the NZ Rolls EUC Bodyguard. It's just a little neoprene bodyguard.
So that one was on during the crash, wasn't it?
It was. It made a huge difference. So you can see right here, it had this huge gash, and then right here in relation to where that was, you don't see any serious blemish. This thing definitely helps a little bit with impact, but even more so, or mostly with the like abrasion and scratching.
Do you recommend everyone to get this?
I don't recommend everyone to get it. It's definitely a comfort type of deal.
Yeah.
Comfort and making things, or keeping your wheel pretty. But again, if you're keeping your wheel pretty with this, you won't actually get to be able to see what it normally looks like without it. So it's all dependent on what you're looking for.
Okay.
Okay, so right now,
Well, for us, there's no option. We have to have protection.
exactly.
It seems like it's reversed.
This is inside out.
Yeah.
Let's redo this.
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's reset the video.
That's what happened after. Okay. What do we have here?
Oh, okay. So right now we've got the NZ Rolls EUC Bodyguard. It's a neoprene skin that pretty much protects your wheel from eating it and taking up all the extra damage that it does not need to take.
Well, that really saved it.
Oh, it definitely does. In terms of impact, it helps a little bit, but the biggest point where it shines is abrasions. And if this wheel ends up falling and you end up sliding somewhere, this thing it'll definitely help keep the wheel from cracking the shells.
Where did it crack when this one fell?
So when this fell, we got extremely lucky. What happened was we were riding and then ended up hitting some gravel. After you bailed the wheel, it ended up going off to the side, bumping into a traffic cone, knocking the traffic cone into a ditch, and then it followed after the traffic cone into the ditch because apparently it had more.
That was at least 10 feet, that ditch. Yeah.
It was definitely high.
And then on the bottom, it was concrete.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
you had a whole bunch of rocks that were covered in concrete, and then this ended up falling directly onto it, resulting in this whole crack in the rim.
Wow.
It was pretty bad. I mean, yeah, we could potentially weld it and fix it like that, but
And then when it fell, it jumped back up a few
it
feet,
bounced at least 2 or 3 times while still being upright, which was
and then fell on its side, and
then
then
went to its side.
not a scratch because of that thing.
Yep, UC bodyguards, they do great. Only little complaint would be this little fabric.
What is that fabric
This
for?
little fabric is supposed to be hooked underneath. Let's put this right
Ah,
here. It's
underneath.
supposed to hook underneath this right here.
Okay.
Problem is, with it being a flexible item, it doesn't exactly hold as well as it could.
Oh.
So it's either, what people could add is maybe a little strip of Velcro, or if you could like stitch like a hard plate
Yeah.
over there to keep it locked in place. But also what I do, I end up just using hot glue.
Yeah.
Hot glue definitely makes a huge difference in just holding it where it needs to be.
Yeah. One thing I noticed is black. It blocks out the light.
It blocks out the light too. So what you would do to remedy that is either trim out more, or again hot glue to keep it right next to the body.
Is it hot glue? Can you take it off after you put hot glue
You
on?
can. You're gonna have to do a little bit of scraping, either with like a little plastic chisel or something like that. But
Okay.
it's definitely worth doing,
Okay.
just to be able to have that extra visibility, because you're not gonna be taking the wheel apart every single day. I hope. If you're one of those people, then I'm really sorry for you. Yeah, you don't take your wheel apart too often, so then it's definitely worth throwing that little bit of hot glue in there, or even double-sided tape works sometimes if you use a strong enough one, just to
Yeah.
be able to give that extra visibility for people who are coming up from behind you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just got that. So yeah, use
Cool.
the bodyguard. It's a great time.
Fantastic. This is looking really good.
Yeah, for sure. And then I guess we could get that set up. Let's use hot glue. Should have plugged this in earlier, but we can use that a little bit of time. So right now, just plugging in our hot glue gun. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to apply the hot glue right underneath here at this flap,
Okay.
just to keep this from sliding too much.
Okay.
Along with that, we're gonna apply it, we're gonna slide this forward, and then we'll apply it right a line here,
Okay.
just right there to keep it more visible. Because again, if you're looking at it from that position, you're gonna have a bad view.
Yeah.
So then again, if you hot glue and press it down, you end up being able to see it way more.
Because that's a safety issue, so that probably need to be fixed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just do what we gotta do after this hot glue gun heats up and we'll apply it.
Okay. And where to get the hot glue? Is it expensive or?
Craft stores, Walmart, anywhere.
Okay.
Really. Okay, so what I've got right here is double-sided tape that I picked up off of Amazon.
Yeah.
It's made for lumber, so pretty much you just want something that's really strong. What I'm doing right now is I'm going to reduce the shuffling on the bodyguard. So one of the problems with the bodyguard is that since it slides around, if you ever add any pads to the side or any like jumping pads, then you end up having all that shifting,
Yeah.
which increases a lot more variables when you're riding.
Yeah.
You do not want your body to be shifting too much, or you don't want your legs to be shifting around too much while you're trying to turn or deal with jumps and bumps and all that extra stuff. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lift it up, we'll take a piece, and then we're gonna apply it. I'm gonna put one right here, one right here.
Okay.
That's more than enough to be able to keep it from shifting around.
How do you come up with that?
Just me thinking. Just a little bit of logic. Yeah, I got tired of the initial shifting because I remember I was riding and I was wobbling a little bit just because I would pinch the wheel and then turn. And then during that turn, just be a little sketchy just because the wheel wasn't exactly where I wanted it
All
at
right.
all times. And yeah, being on a single contact patch, you always want to make sure you know where the wheel is up from under you.
It is a beautiful wheel though.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
The bodyguard hides it, but at the same time, it's.
I saw it was a little rip tear. I'm sure it's
Yeah.
fine.
There's some adhesives or some like plastic repair type stuff that you can use.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to that one.
I like the fact they have this red strip here.
Yeah.
It's also required, at least in certain states.
for bicycles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we'll see how EUC jurisdiction eventually comes out as. Yeah, the problem with this one, it cracks
yeah.
over time. But
Yeah.
So again, with that tape, you can see right here, you can shift the pad away more
Yeah.
than the other side, where
Oh yeah.
it's not moving at all.
Yeah.
So you'll
That's pretty
definitely notice a
fantastic.
huge difference. So we'll repeat that with this side because we like a little bit of symmetry.
It's interesting that there really aren't any American producers of Uniwheels.
Oh yeah, it's because there's a patent for somebody set a patent for I think it was the air wheel,
Yeah.
and then there's something along those lines. I think InMotion has the now where it's only InMotion allowed to, or no, I can't say that. It's one of some company that
Was it
has-
old Segway that had the pattern, and then they got bought by
I think that
Ninebot?
was the situation. Yeah.
Because but the patents, expires after 5 years, don't it?
Yeah. No, I don't know what's going to be going on with that, but again, if the market is allowed to expand, then that'd be insane. Seeing all the different developers for these things,
Yeah.
but we'll see what happens. So yeah, that's
Wow.
fixed in place. For some people, they end up having the little issue of. Let me get this. They have this. It's not the prettiest thing. So then, what do we do? Because it's like kind of loose and flossing
Yeah.
around. What do? We end up adding more tape. So it's 3 pieces of tape.
It
rather
seems
than-
that tape and silicone is the solution for a wheel.
Yeah, exactly. Tape, silicone, duct tape, hot glue. Yeah, sometimes if you have like a squeaky wheel,
Yeah.
like if you're leaning against the shell and the shell's rubbing against itself,
Yeah.
making weird noises you don't want, then you just take a little bit of soup or hot glue, throw it on the inside, and then you don't hear that sound anymore.
Oh.
Bought so much tape or so much double-sided tape after I picked up riding EUC.
Oh yeah, you use tape for everything.
For sure. Okay, so we got that.
Wow.
Both sides are good. Let's assume that the hot glue is heated up by now. It's looking like
Yeah,
it.
it seems like.
Okay, so we will start with
And why is the wheel on right now?
on, because
Yeah.
what happens is you lift it up, it makes it locked in place, and then you can easily maneuver it, twist it,
Yeah.
and then be able to have an easier time just
Doesn't
throwing
it start
around.
spinning ever?
No, because we have the angle cut up.
Okay.
Yeah. That's another thing that EUCs really need to develop. If there was a toggle for an within the application to allow you to ride at any speed, to ride at any angle,
Yeah.
that would be huge. I understand the safety precautions when you're riding on flat ground and you want the wheel to cut out. But if you're riding off-road, you want to ride a berm, then you want to have that little bit of extra freedom to be able to avoid your wheel cutting out on an angle.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so hot glue. What I'm going to do is lift up this area right here, exposing that.
And why aren't you using double-sided tape on this one? Like you did?
Double-sided tape rips, or it releases a lot quicker than hot glue.
Okay, and this one is a more wear area where it gets stretched a lot
Right.
more.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'll throw just 2 small lines. And that's enough to make that portion work. So then we stick it and then wait for it to cool down.
How long does it typically take for that hot glue to cool down?
Not long. Just wash
Just a
it
few
little
seconds?
bit. Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
If you add like a huge dollop, then in turn you're gonna end up having to wait longer.
Okay.
Yeah. Less you add, the faster it'll cool. So now we have that. Let's do this side now. So this, 2 lines, or let's wipe off extra dust. So we got 1, 2.
Ah, and you
There
put
we
it
go.
on the.
Yep.
look
Stretch
at
it a
that.
little bit just
Yeah.
to give us that extra.
And now the angle, you can
Extra
see
view.
the brake light real
Yep.
clear.
That is what we want.
Wow.
So right now I'm just gonna let it cool down. It's looking good.
Yeah.
And then if you want extra, then just take it up right here. Let that cool. But yeah, it makes a huge difference being able to see so much more of the light.
Yeah, the safety.
Exactly. That. Realistically, you could throw a little bit more here. But
That's one of the things I like with the Gotways is that they have a dedicated brake light
yeah.
that is large up
Separate
here,
area.
which I really
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, we have one here.
Yeah.
There's a dedicated light here, which is, but they don't have. I don't know how I can stop.
Okay, so we got that one side. Let's bring the wheel back up. And then we will throw that to the side. We'll do the opposite on this end. We'll bring it around this way so you can see it better. Okay, so again, we'll start off in the bottom. We'll tuck that little flap under and then figure out where we want our positioning. So we want that. So this again, 2 strips, maybe like 5 inches long. Maybe a little bit more if you're conscious about yourself. And that should be good. Just tear the Velcro a little bit. Right now I'm just lifting up that tape that we had earlier to place this a little bit nicer. Okay, have that at the edge. Then we set this to where we want it. Lift it up. Just gonna wipe it down a bit. Take that. And then just let it cool down. That's good. We'll add a little bit here.
And this will stay put when you write?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah?
Yep. Yeah, if it ever moves, then sure, you could just easily apply more. No big deal. And then, yeah.
Wow.
Now we have all the visibility, and it's still consistent. That's not moving either.
Wow.
Yeah. EUC bodyguards.
ENC bodyguards.
That is how I set this.
Highly recommended, huh?
For sure. And then now when we jump, let's see. Where's the bodyguard?
Oh.
Still need pads. But at the same time, it's just so much more comfortable against the leg. And then along with that, you just have more control. And yeah, good to go.